Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, an afternoon session of daily game design. What I decided was something like, well, like Monday nights, I get back home at, sometimes 11. Last night was a later one because we had a bigger event. We had now it's annual. I think we've done it 3 years in a row. We have our costume party. I think I've had a few different names for it, but I think the costume party potluck is the absolute clearest way to talk about it and think about it. And had a really great little time. It's always good getting together with these people. What happens with these potlucks and special events is people have a little more incentive to come out, so we usually get a bigger crowd. We see some faces we haven't seen in a while, and of course, with a costume party, you expect some spectacle. It was really kind of weird that I think we probably had about 30 people last night, and only 7 of us dressed up in costumes. I know this is in part a communication problem because a couple of the people, they're not in any of our groups for like making announcements. So if I don't text them individually, then it's not going to work out. Anyway, here are a few photos from the costume party. I'm a little nervous about an afternoon stream, partly because I think the connection, like things are a little more clogged. We had somebody join for the first time, Alec, great guy, fun personality, really personable, like just plugged in right away, getting to know people's names, doing a little like guess the character thing here. Anyway, what was awesome is I was pretty late to setting up, partly because I was working on finishing up these escape room puzzles, and I do want to spend a few minutes, not too long, but a few minutes describing my process here to finish these puzzles. I had the 4 games. I think I mentioned them in yesterday's stream. But here, just a few shots of around the room. We had a few people. Dan, Jeremy was there early. Ronson jumped in. Just really helpful people. Stringing streamers, setting out candles, just creating a little more of a vibe in there. Got the little photo booth thing set up. Blew up a bunch of balloons. We had a few activities and I want to thank Lehua for this. Here's the back of Lehua's head, where we had an Ito table. Wow, these people were committed. They had a group playing all night. They were playing Ito all night. Yeah, so activities, we had a decorate a balloon activity. Here you can see in our group photo, you can see Jim's jack-o'-lantern style pumpkin balloon over here. I'm sure it will, clear up. We had, I don't know what Jesse was, but he was some kind of cyborg. He had this light that like scanned people. It was pretty impressive. Chris was a doctor. Gabrielle was a professional swimmer. I still don't know. He's 3-hole somebody. I forget. I think Alec was that. I think Keenan was a bear, but he didn't put his hood up. Angela, I don't know. She just looked cool. Jim is jack-o'-lantern. Actually, I invited the others, but it was a little too late. This is the thing. Like, I don't put a lot of forethought into some of my announcements and transitions. So when it was time to take a picture, I just got everybody in a costume over for a picture, and then I thought, oh, what about everybody with their balloons? That's cool too. But then I didn't like say it loud enough for everybody to hear. Anyway, whatever. And then for me, I'll give a better view here. So my intention here was to represent a choir director, and further specified my identity as a choir director from the 80s. So I had John McIntyre take these pictures, which actually makes them professional portraits. I don't know if he sees himself as a professional or amateur, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, what a good time having a costume party. Well, I wanted to describe a little bit of how I go about making these puzzles. Funny thing is, I just saw somebody else posting to the Facebook group, BGDL Facebook group, that that he's going to be releasing escape room style games, like 12 of them next year, I think. I don't know where he went. I just saw it and I've lost it. But anyway, it could be cool to jump in on making some more making some escape room stuff again. So what I really like to do is lay out what I have and then look for connections between things and see if I can come up with trying to make a meaningful connection between things. So for example, there are these little chips around. There's a green one here, there's a red one up here. It's a little hard to see, but if you were looking at this the operation game, you would see it next to the guy's head. There's not another one over here, but if I go to you can see them, you can see the chips, you can see the red one here. And there would be another one on the other side of the battleship, and there's one up here in the corner. I forget, a blue chip, I think. Anyway, there's one more chip right in this area. And one thing that it did not click for people, at least most people, is that the battleship game was not played, but it was a place where you could find words. So on the top of this battleship right here, and then also right here, these were actually words. And I'm used to, I make escape rooms, but then also like going to escape rooms, I just assume there are going to be codes around. There are going to be ways to translate information into different forms. So like for example, if I were to see this bar of colors and numbers in an escape room, I would know instantly, immediately, unless these people were super mean with red herrings, I would know that this is used to do something to convert information. Or it's used to convert information. Translate. And one of the tweaks I would have made to this puzzle, I thought it would be a little too easy. And that was my problem. But to have I would put these now in color order based on this strip of numbers. Because what I thought would be too easy. These numbers correspond to these this was the blue side. So there are red pegs throughout, like set across this the grid here. And the thing to pick up about Battleship is its numbers and letters. So you have to be able to notice, or you have to be able to imagine that somebody's going to use a grid to communicate. So that's just, I know maybe people are not used to escape rooms, but if you can represent information in kind of tricky ways, you're going to do it in an escape room. That's what happens. So, anyway, I don't know what, I think I just got an email from, yeah, I should probably, just gonna double check what we've got here. Okay. Anyway, I need to get back to that soon. Okay, so yeah, so there is a connection between this grid of red, I just had a good word for them. Pins? No. Anyway, they're kind of like push pins. So if you were to take the yellow, and look, that, see, it's a 1. And then you also, well, you take this collection of colors, okay? Forget about the order. That's the problem. The order was actually confusing to people. And it turns out I inadvertently produced a really effective red herring because I accidentally created a Hawaii zip code. It's 9, 6, 8, 1, 4. I did it. That's actually the zip code of where I used to live in Waiau, the Waiau apartments. I did not mean to do that. So I screwed up. That's on me. But what you could have gotten is that the 1 over here was a B. The 4, well, I guess it's a 3. Yeah, the 3. See, that was also, the coloration wasn't perfectly helpful. But you have the 3, it would have been an E. Anyway, it's spelled beach, and that was related to one of the things. So I do look for ways simply to create codes in what I've got. That's a really, really important thing. Then also, this was a sort of gimme right here where I took the vehicle from life and placed it on the space that's related to Grandma Nutty. She ended up being a solution. And then also I placed these chips. You can see that there are these money tokens laying all around the place. If you were to add them up, you would find that they equal the value of one of these properties. And one of these properties was also one of the things. If you look at the vehicle, here's another indication of a person. The vehicle with a male. This blue little guy. I also kind of had the clues gendered to help. There's a payday, and the payday is $100,000. You look over here and you realize, and you see that the basic salary for a doctor is $100,000. So the doctor was a solution. Anyway, there was some other stuff. The hard one, I think, was these numbers related to the other grid. Anyway, the last thing I'll mention is the easiest one that pretty much everybody got was that the operation table had all of its, the holes were all filled except for here, the dog. And this was the case of the missing blank. And pretty much everybody figured out it was the case of the missing dog. So I think the easiest way to go about producing escape room puzzles is to find interesting ways to associate one thing with something that's not typically associated, and also to convert information from one form into another. I think you come up with some pretty effective puzzles. Because then all the people have to do is figure out what the correct association is. Anyway, it's always fun. It's always a good time to get together with people in costume, and always to build puzzles and offer them as an experience. I just love both of those things. Okay, I'm going to make a hard transition over to working on our meeting for tomorrow. So I have a meeting at 10 a.m. my time with Sharon and I think some other people who are interested in learning more about the game. Oh, this is also something. So when I was with Catherine and we were working on this on Sunday evening, I just took notes on things that I thought could be useful links between games. And this is the little story. I'll read this and then I'll be done. The case of the missing blank. The young man's name was Blank. It was Cage, and it was found on one of the battleship grids. An unusual name. One afternoon, he was relaxing in a pool near the beach. He packed up, when he began to feel unwell, a blank. This was headache. That was the long word you were meant to find on one of the grids. A headache more intense than he'd ever felt before. He packed up to find some relief, and that's when he discovered that his blank was missing. His dog was missing. He looked everywhere, but no luck. In pain and frantic, he called the friend he had lunch with earlier that day, a blank. And then the only person that wouldn't have had a really clear connection here would have been the doctor. So he's a doctor. His friend had no answers. His friend didn't know where his dog was. Had he completely spaced at the veterinarian's office in the morning? By the time he arrived at the office, it was closed. He knew she lived, I think I replaced this to the veterinarian lived, in a blank, and that was one of the properties. It was like an RV and double wide or something, in the neighborhood nearby. When she opened the door, so I didn't have a lot of space, so I just kind of skipped some details here. When she opened the door, surprised, she said, "Oh, yes, you left Bumpy here. I called your cell, but you didn't answer, so I called your blank, and she came to pick him up. Your grandma, Nutty, and she came to pick him up." Okay, that was the story. Now for tomorrow. This game, I believe, is probably close to good enough. And that is with the vanilla version of the game being just, you know, you don't have any special abilities, you're just racing the clock, and you can adjust the difficulty a little bit. Now you add special abilities. Okay, and I think you add maybe another card per player or something, another challenge card per player, and there you've got a new variant for advanced play. And what I want to do is leave the rules as these. On your turn, if you cannot play anywhere, draw a card and skip your turn. I think I will have players wanting to be able to refocus on their turn. So I think that may be one little thing to tweak moving forward. If you cannot play a card anywhere, draw a card past the turn. If you can play a card somewhere, you get to do two things. Play two cards to the location and focus, to the challenge card and focus. Or refocus, play a card, or play a card and refocus. So let's do two things and any combination of refocusing and playing a card. And those should be all of the rules for your turn. Almost all, but I mean that's the decision making, is how to spend your turn. Well, if you can't play anything, draw a card past the turn. If you can play something, that's when you get to do any combination of these two things. Two of any combination of these two things. Okay. Well, there's still the problem of what about these dead turns? What do I do when I feel like I'm wasting my time because I can't help it all? What do I do? Well, so in talking with Mike, and then also inspired by a few people, but finally Jeff, Uncle Jeff, it was to invent a new type of card to help with this problem. And this type of card is the event card. What this means is there's going to be a card that'll reveal itself, and then something will happen or something will be ongoing until that event is resolved. So, for example, one event would be no talking until this event is resolved, and the way to resolve it is to discard 4 cards of any kind to this event. 3 cards of any kind, whatever it is. So we need to evaluate how long we want it to go on and how annoying it should be, and see how many cards it would take to stay in line with that evaluation. So, well, okay, that was just one example. I think you could also have examples where, I should say, I want to say before moving on, that the reason for doing this is to deal with dead turns. The dead turns happen when you can't play a card somewhere. So this, it still may be the case that there are only challenge cards out, and there's you just get unlucky for a couple turns. That could happen. But having these event cards is gonna make that less likely. So I think the expert players eventually will realize, you know what, let's leave events up as long as possible until we need them, or until they're too annoying, so we need to we need to get rid of them. Okay. Yeah. Well, I feel good about that. So one of the things I wanted to do today is just make a sample, make a few of these cards, so that I can shuffle them in over here, and it should be really easy, should be really straightforward. I think I can, in fact, I think I can do it right in Canva and just add, I don't know, 6 cards or something like that. Nothing intense. And I'm just gonna sprinkle in like 2 or 3 as I'm thinking about it here. So I'll just make an event, which is, you know, I'm gonna put a little, I just need to get the shape of a card, so I'll just copy 1 card. And what's a good icon? Maybe what I'll do is, by the way, I am going to keep this stream pretty tight because I want to get down to other realms. I forget what the game on the schedule is today, but I want to get down there and at least fit in 1 game. I may be going to Swing Dance tonight. That sounds fun. I haven't done anything. First of all, I'm not being active at all these days, not really. And I can feel it, like it's just, why am I breathing hard? This is ridiculous. So it's stuff like that I just know I need to get some more exercise. Okay, so I've got my card shape, and I'm gonna make it gray. There's a gray right there. Make it gray, give it a little outline. And then I'm thinking to what kind of arrow should be on this? Should the arrow be under it or on top of it? Probably under, right? So I'm going to shrink this down a little. I don't know, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't have to, it just needs to mean something. So we'll do that. And then I think I'll even just like, I'm just gonna make like 3 of these, because I don't really love the idea of just ×3. I think it's okay if it's do this, like if this is do this 3 times, right? And I'll make one that's 4 times. Okay, I'm gonna make another one that is 4. I guess I didn't have to do that. No, I didn't have to. Yeah, and then I'll make one that is 5. So these are something like safety valves for the moment when somebody can't play somewhere. That's how I think about these cards. I don't know what to call these. I actually ran this idea past Gemini today, and it came up with like some weird ideas that are not awesome. One thing I think I will include though, I'm gonna make these events pretty annoying. At least one of them. So yeah. So what I can do is like put the water icon on this one, and I'll say cancel maybe. Actually, the thin, I think the thin one is probably better here. Can't, oh, you can change the color. That's good. Okay, so the rule here is you cannot play a water. Maybe I'll put it on a 4. Oh, refocus. Ooh, I think on this one, because this one is, oops. This one's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to make this one, how do I say spin? So we'll call this refocus. And this is going to be annoying. I'm going to put a little text here just for now because I don't have a consistent iconography yet. Refocus. And so I'm just going to treat this, I'm going to treat this symbol as refocus. Okay. What I don't want to communicate is that they I'm going to take this off here. So it's just going to cost 4 cards. There's not going to be this little arrow. I'm going to use the arrow specifically for discard. Discard. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. I listened to Hiromi a little bit. She's a pianist who huh. Event card. Yeah, she's a pianist who is pretty amazing, I guess. This is my first time to hear of her actually, I think. I mean, maybe I've seen her a little bit. I need to go back to arrow. I guess I can just use one of these. I don't love using the same shape though. Learn to fly. She covered Blackbird, which is, I don't know the Beatles well. I feel like I kind of should. My parents, my dad especially, really liked the Beatles. And it's just never something I never spent much time listening to them. When I do listen to them, their style is kind of irritating because it doesn't really fit the folk forms that I like the most. So they just do some weird stuff that it's not great on my ears. I'm not sure why, but it's just, that's how it is. But I have that song in my head now because I saw her covering that song. I'm gonna make these slightly smaller, and then I'll just copy these. Okay, make this a 4. Yeah, see, this is going by pretty quick. And there doesn't need to be anything special all the time. Oops. I actually want to copy this. Like these are pretty much like placeholder cards, so, and they're fast. I don't know how they're gonna look compared to the other ones, but I'm just kind of rushing them to get them done. Okay. So some of these event cards, they don't need some bad thing to happen. I could even do like reverse play kind of thing. To survive. Yeah, that's fine. Just as a sample, maybe that's fine. How do I say reverse? You know what? Why not? Because reverse doesn't really hurt, but it's just like it's throwing off the players a little bit. Let me copy this. What's cool is that it's temporary, so it's gonna create a little bit of chaos. So that's 5 cards. Should I make 6? I wonder if I'm going to put this down here on the 5. And then I'm going to use this icon here. And let's make it something else. Let's make it, I don't know, seeds. Something a little more obscure. I guess I'm not sure whether it's better to have the seeds be harder to get rid of, like this one. Harder to get rid of or not? Overlapping. Interesting. Where is the... What? Why is this not showing up as... Oh, interesting. Huh. Okay. So 34 through 38. 6 cards. How's my connection? Pretty good. Yeah, I do need to text Auntie Terry back. Okay, 6 cards. That should be a good start because I think I'd only put in 2 or 3 anyway. $34 through 38. Let's do it. What is the current page? One, two, three, four. Is 5 enough? Yeah, that's fine. I kind of want to put music on, but I don't really want to risk the bandwidth. And then also, I don't understand the rules about like copyright stuff. Like can I just play whatever I want on my stream? I kind of doubt it, right? Like I'll get, like the audio will get knocked out or something. I feel like that would happen. But I don't know. Oh, I missed you, Ian. Sorry I missed your comments. Usually people are they're a little more active on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. So anyway, I think I've got these cards. Well, yeah, I don't know. So if anybody does have insight on how copyright would work with music, because it would be nice to have some background music going. Again, I don't want to risk the bandwidth, so sometimes I think that means like just having some music downloaded that I can just play without streaming it. Okay, now, because I assume we'll be using this one here. So I'm going to get out of here. Edit. And then what I'm going to do is just make several. Going to be the admin. So I just need to make several of these cards. And you know what? No, I might as well do it. If I'm gonna do it, might as well do it right. New deck. So these are gonna be called. Let's add cards. These are gonna be called event cards. Now where are the rest of these cards? Here? Oops. No, no. Challenge cards, player decks. Okay, here. I'm gonna add them. I'm just gonna add it right here. Event cards. Event cards. Okay, then export this. I think the size is right. And then save that. Then what I'll do is go back and I'm just going to copy. Dang it, I guess I need to make. I don't have a generic card back, right? Oh, I guess I just use challenge cards. I'm just going to use the challenge card back because they do need to look the same. Okay, I'm just going to... Can I copy this? No, I need to add the asset first. Is this, shoot, I think it was 7. I think I need to put this number here. Okay. Now that I have assets, I'll go back to components and I want to clone this. Yeah, just one. I'm going to edit this. This is event cards. Oh, I need to, how do I, it's funny, the steps. Is this what I need? It must be, right? Oh, maybe it'll just work because oh, this one. Okay. And then what does this need to be? This needs to be the event card. Did I save it? Never mind, let me go back. Assets. Oh, I didn't. It's there. Oh. Yeah, it looks like I lost my connection. Is it? Am I gone? Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on back. Okay. Yeah, so that just took a while to upload. That was the issue. Because I lost my connection for a second. I really think it's an issue of overheating in my phone, and it's possibly an issue of overheating with my laptop. Okay, that should have saved. I think it did. Did it? I think it did. Okay, now I've got event cards. And then variants. The variant needs to be not this, but this. Okay, back asset is fine. Challenge card back. That's perfect. Yep, and then now I need to clone these. Or just clone it 4 times, I guess. And then, what is this one? Okay, and where do I go to get that that little bit of code? Screen top. Learn, that's where it was. Bulk editing. Setting a different asset for each variant of a tile component with a single asset. Is it this one? No. This one, right? Setting the same back asset. Multiple assets. I think it's this one. No, but I guess I can edit it like this. No, you cannot. This has got to be 2. And then 3. Because back asset is asset 1, I think. And then 4. And then 5. Back asset. What is it? Because it is 1. Like, that's correct. I can just do this manually. It doesn't matter. It's only 5 cards. This is the sad thing where I just need to know how to do this. Like, it's just, this is the easiest thing to do if you know how to do it. And I don't remember how to do it, so. And Mike just showed me how to do it. I think maybe I just copied the wrong code. I don't know. The point is, now I have event cards. That's the point. So select all, create these bad boys. Okay, now we have event cards. And they should have the regular, they do. They have the challenge card backs. Okay, now we go into play. I'll be the admin. There they are. So I guess I should, this is an annoying little detail, but I'm going to do it. I should move these. Why are these not moving? Is anything moving? No. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. That's so weird. Okay. Oops. What is it here? Z? Yeah. Now I'm gonna just take these back. I feel like they're, oh, I could create a container for them. Right. Is that worth doing? I don't know. Where do I make the containers? Like, where are these hands? This is perfect. I have about 10 minutes, so that's good. Oh, they're here. Okay, then I'll just make a new container, create that. And all it needs to be is a place to organize the cards. Right? It doesn't even have to be, ooh, but I do want the orientation, I think. Okay, I want the, what? Okay. So now I'm going to edit this and what? Oh, drop zone. Oh, grid. No, it's not a grid. Did I screw this up? I think I did. Container. Oh, why didn't I see this before? What in the world does this mean? Fields, don't know what this does. What is this? Oh. I'm gonna delete this. Objects. What I was thinking would be ideal is if I could just drop the cards in here and then they auto rotate. Like, yeah, what if I try this? So 0, and then I need to make a, wait. What's going on? Container objects. I want, oh wait, let me go back. I think maybe I need to make 4 of these, so I'm gonna do that I'm gonna make a second one. I'm gonna clone this guy. It's probably a mistake in a way. But the one thing I wanted to test So container 2, let's make this one rotate. I want to make things rotate 90. What happens? What happens if I do this? Oh, it rotates 90. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, okay. Well, that's doing what I want it to do. Oh, they're grids. I don't want a grid. Oh, let me start over. They're not doing what I want them to do. So I'm just gonna delete them. Oh. Oh no. Delete. Cannot. Oh. Okay, delete. Okay, now I need to change this one back. Now it's gone. Okay, let's try this again. So component, add a container. Oh. I want this drop zone to be. Wait, why can't I change what it? What in the world? Fields, what does this do? No. So drop zone, how do I change? I don't want it to, I guess maybe it doesn't matter, but how many placement? Oh, center. Yeah, just center, obviously. Okay. And then I'll add it. Okay, now. Hello? Something is not at all what I thought it was going to be. What do I do here? Okay, so that's good, right? If I drop any component, it does not rotate. It doesn't rotate the component. Okay, that's not super useful. I wonder why it's difficult to move stuff right now. Also, what does that mean? Yeah, I don't think I'm not equipped to do what I'm trying to do. Okay, it's almost 5. I'm gonna transition away here really quickly. The good news is that I have the components in here I think we need in order to play tomorrow. I'm gonna delete this container though. Okay. It's interesting that it stayed rotated though. Well, now I want to randomize these anyway. Can I group these? No. Like, why do they stay rotated? That's so odd. Like, what in the world is happening here? There should be 20. Oh, nice. So that's good news, at least, that all 24 are here. Okay, so they maintain their orientation. I can understand and work with that. Okay. Like, what are you up to? Okay. What in the world? How do I close this little window thing? I don't think I do. Yeah, there's like definitely a really easy automated way to do this. I don't know what it is. Okay, good. Now I would shuffle these. Okay, I think that's it for now. I think this container needs to go away because I don't understand how it works. All right. I believe we are ready for tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to set up the game. I'll play test it a bunch tomorrow morning, just in the way it's laid out here. And that's it for me. I'm going to head down to Other Realms, join for a game or two, and I will see you. I will see you soon.